This is a very popular book called Animal Hide and Seek. It has textures on each of the pages and flaps, and it also has some simple counting in it as well. Here's a small collection of the many That's Not My books that Usborne has. I'm going to flip through these so you can get an idea of what the inside looks like. I really love these books for babies because the illustrations are very simple and not too overwhelming for them. And as they get a little bit older, there's a hidden mouse on each of the pages that is fun for the kids to find. And I also find that these are great vocabulary builders for the kids. For example, this says, "That's not my tractor, its seat is too scratchy." And then the seat feels very scratchy. And its headlamps are so shiny, and you can see that the headlamps are nice and shiny. And I also find that these books are great for kids as they're older and beginning to learn how to read. They're wonderful for them because there is simple repetitive text in them that repeats over and over again, and the pictures can kind of help them figure out some of the new words that are a little bit more difficult. So I think they're great for all ages, from babies on up to kids who are beginning to learn how to read. This is called My Wild Animal World, and there is a similar one about farm animals. In this case, there are 9 different books, and each book tells what the animal is called, where it lives, what the baby is called, what it eats, and what sound it makes. And as you can see, they're really cute little books that are easy for babies to open and close. And as your baby starts to get older, it turns into a fun little matching game because they can match the pictures to the correct spots. Here is one of our board books called The Zoo. It has nice sturdy tabs along each of the pages to make page turning really easy, and on each of the pages there is some counting that you can do and some questions that it asks you. So definitely a very interactive book with you and your little one. Here is Baby's very first big playbook, and my baby fell in love with this book as soon as I brought it out. It's very colorful and bright. There's flaps everywhere. There's holes and little indentations in each of the pages, and some textures and squishy parts and more flaps everywhere. And then it also has these buttons with sounds and music. Here are 2 of our board books. This one is the alphabet picture book, and this one has very charming illustrations in it. And I like the little tabs along the side. It makes it easy for your little ones to turn the pages. And here is my first word book, and this also has some very nice illustrations, very colorful, and some great vocabulary for your little ones to learn. Here are 2 of Usborne's baby playbooks. I'll give you a little peek inside. These are wonderful books. They're very tactile. There's textures to feel, very colorful. The pages are also layered. I don't know if you can see, but the snake is a little bit lower than the rest of the page, so it makes kind of an extra texture. And then there's holes in the pages. You can see there, and a hole right there. So these are very fun and engaging books for little ones, and then some of them also have some flaps as well. This is called Flippy Floppy Jungle Animals, and this is a really neat book. So here it says, "Can you find me? I'm hiding somewhere." And then you start flipping over all of these flaps. And something else that I like is that there's some animals in here that aren't quite as common, which is nice for the kids to be able to be introduced to. So once you flip all of the flaps over, you can see the animal that was on the original page. So definitely a fun, cute book for kids. This one is called Noisy Zoo, and Usborne has tons of other noisy books. And this one is a board book, so nice and sturdy for little hands. There's tabs at the top that will help the little ones turn the pages. and each of the animals in the book corresponds to the noises over here. So here we have a polar bear and a noisy wolf. This book is called Get Dressed, Max and Millie, and it's about two kids getting dressed all by themselves in a fast and fun way. Usborne has a variety of pullback and wind-up stories. There is a ladybug one, and there is a tractor one, and a bunch of others. And there's a little bit of a story that goes along with it, and you can see the story continues along the tracks. You take the train, pull it back, put it on the track, and off it goes. This is a really neat colors book. There are lots of flaps throughout it. And then here on this page it says, "Who's brown and furry in the pink car?" And you can kind of see some brown ears sticking out. They pull the flap and can see the bears in that one. And then on this page, they have to find these things in the forest and say what color it is. So the mushrooms right here are hiding under that flap, and they say those are red. And then here at the end of the book, they have some color mixing for the kids to practice as well. Here is Animal Stories for Little Children, and I'll flip through this quickly so you can get an idea of what the inside looks like. There's multiple stories in here, gorgeous illustrations, and there's not too much text on each of the pages. Here are two cute books for practicing manners. This one is I Can Say Yes, Please. And basically the books go through different situations where you might say yes, please, or thank you. When I am reading these books with my kiddos, I actually will read one side and then I'll have my child say yes, please, or they'll say the thank you part. So definitely two cute books for practicing manners. I am a huge fan of doing nursery rhymes with little ones, and this is a very cute first nursery rhyme book. It has all the classics in it, like Humpty Dumpty, Little Bo Peep, Mary Mary Quite Contrary, Baa Black Sheep, Hickory Dickory Dock, Jack and Jill, and as you can see, the illustrations are very cute and darling as well. This is Very First Words in Spanish. It's a board book, and it goes through different topics and tells you what each of the pictures are in both English and Spanish, and as you can see, there's a great variety of things that the book covers. Here's the board book, Animal Noises, and inside it talks about each of the animals and what sound it makes.